backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. And the play clock's running down. On second down, here's Kaepernick. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Time running out here on the play clock. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Carlos Hyde, see you later. Touchdown, 49ers. Carlos Hyde, 32 yards. And the Niners have taken the early lead.
Throughout the game, we're going to track so many different statistics, but one is becoming increasingly in vogue: explosive runs of 20 yards or more, and we just saw one right there to open this game.
Now we'll see how the other team responds, because when you get a play like that against you this early in the game, got to feel like your back's against the wall a little bit.
Yeah, the pressure now increases on you because your first thought is we have to answer right now.
And it's up and good. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrill. They juked him. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. They come out here in the eye. Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Play action for Peterson. Now here's Bradford. He's going to air one out. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 60 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Kai Forbath on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Chris Davis on the return. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. On second down, Hyde shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Play clock winding down. Here's Kaepernick. And going over the middle here to Curley. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
Naturally, we're going to say it was a poor pass, but the defensive guys say it was just a great play by them. They broke on the football, picked it off, and gave some momentum to their team.
You know, for this Vikings team, as they come back out here on offense, I don't know that any group had more of a roller coaster ride than them in the 2016 season. The quarterback change at the beginning, the hot start, and then the cold middle. It was just a tough year for them, wasn't it?
It really was, and when you look at how their season went, you mentioned the roller coaster. A lot of it can come back to the injuries, especially along the offensive line. I think by around October, maybe even early November, I'm surprised you and I didn't get a call to go audition to be a left tackle there because they were just down so many guys. So that made it difficult to run the ball and to protect Sam Bradford, their quarterback, and it reflected in their final record. Brandon, I know you play the fantasy football game, and Adrian Peterson has to be a popular pick for owners. But this year, a tough season for him. A knee injury early limited him to 72 yards total for the season.
Yeah, early indeed. Week 2 on that knee injury. So 72 yards, as you said, for the year. Came back, admirable, hoping to get him into the playoffs, but didn't look like he was ready to return.
One guy I never count out, though, is Adrian Peterson. I expect a monster return in 2017. That run is what defenses don't like about dealing with Adrian Peterson. His ability to drop his shoulder and run through contact.
And he's amazing at keeping those strong legs going, isn't he?
For him, no run is ever truly over. I mean, he's actually not even convinced that when they blow the whistle, he's actually down. That's how he finishes runs in a big way.
So with that, we come upon the 2-minute warning here on the NFL on EA Sports. They come out here in the eye. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Stephon Diggs with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. They always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They come up in an offset eye. Kaepernick will try again on second down. He's going to go up top again. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
This will be caught inside the 10. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Vance McDonald from 21 yards away. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is
It's caught inside the 25. The young connection hook up there. Bridgewater to Diggs. And even 40 yards. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Let's go.
Bridgewater on first down. Flush to his right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Bridgewater fakes the give to Peterson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's third down. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. On third down, Bridgewater. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football.
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
He was looking for Quentin Patton that time. And now it's second down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. On third and long, it's Kaepernick. And McDonald here over the middle. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Kaepernick now on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On first down, Kaepernick. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up second down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. They'll come out in the pistol. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They come up in an offset eye. A final shot before half for Kaepernick. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to float this one deep right side. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Here comes Sherrills. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get...
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 59 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Another pistol look here. Again, it's Hyde. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the All-Pro, Navarro Bowman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now the 49er offense ready to go and getting back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Kaepernick. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They come out here in the eye. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it second down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On second down, Peterson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. And they're going to speed things up here.
What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their...
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings moving away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got his guy. It's Patton over the middle. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
So from the 40 to the 45, 5-yard run. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Now this time, Kaepernick will throw. And able to find Curley. And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. They try to fire up the run game with Adrian Peterson. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a good pickup on the ground of 7 yards, and time has run out on this 3rd quarter. So 2nd down, 3 yards to go now. Again, Peterson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. Eric Armstead able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Let's go. Bridgewater now on 2nd down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 69 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now Kaepernick dancing to his left. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Now Kaepernick, got to have this one. And going over the middle here to Curley. And he's brought down after a good gain. 22 yards on the pickup there. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. From midfield, here's Kaepernick. Over the middle to Smith. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 20 that time. And that leads to a San Francisco 1st down. Throwing on 1st down is Kaepernick. And that is incomplete. Jeremy Curley, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Linval Joseph in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Partner, I know that ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. To throw, Kaepernick steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. And now out comes Minnesota. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along.
And that's caught inside the 35. They get 31 yards that time. And it'll give the Vikings a 1st down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got time in the pocket. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
No, she's singing. She's
on, like, the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. The Vikings now heading onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on 3rd down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This from 42 yards out. And Forbath will put this one through, and they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Kaepernick will try again on 2nd down. He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Kaepernick now on 1st down. And that's complete. It's Ellington. And he's brought down. 13 yards there on the pickup. And the 49ers are going to get a first. And now they're in the hurry-up.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard pass.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now Kaepernick again. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Buying time to his left. And now here is another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And that will write a finish to this ball game.
Just a bunch of poor boys, daddy's girls, children of the cornfield, trying to turn a shift job into a dollar bill. We wear the mud hearts. Stay true to how we're raised. Ain't nothing about us fake. You know we're straight out of that dirty South, dirty roads. Nobody got no money. Got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out. On fire on the back 40, in the middle of nowhere. Nobody going home tonight till we're straight out of moonlight, straight out of moonlight. Yeah. Just a bunch of John Deere junkies getting funky to some old hang. Nothing been stuck in the mud that we can't hook up to a rusty chain in the sun or in the rain. Yeah, it's the kind of thing. You know we're straight out of that dirty South, dirty roads. Nobody got no money. Got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out of that long week working now.
I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams who need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's Bridgewater's Vikings going up against Smith's Chiefs. With that, let's get out to Arrowhead. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Kansas City Chiefs. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. On the direct snap, Charles. And he's got some space here. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Jamal Charles, 78 yards. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. The first play from scrimmage? Some of these people haven't even taken their seat.
That's what is commonly known as a fast start. That's what my horse racing friends would say. They caught a flyer out of the gate, and guess what? They're in the lead now.
On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. He's got time. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety here, Ron Parker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now here comes Kansas City. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but how about them just taking it big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And certainly a key cog in this offensive wheel is Jeremy Maclin.
You've just got to find ways to get him the ball, whether you put him in the slot or put him out on the perimeter.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You got to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last. That's caught inside the 20. The young connection hook up there. Bridgewater to Diggs. 49 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Here's the offense, and when you talk about this offense, you certainly have to talk about all-day AP, Adrian Peterson.
Does not shy away from contact. Also has the speed to go the distance. It's the rare combination that you get from one of the great runners of all time in the NFL. 2,000 yards every year is the goal.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Adrian Peterson, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. Now a direct snap. It's Jamal Charles. And a gadget package there won't do much for him. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Andrew Sendejo in on the stop. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Trey Waynes is a very aggressive cover corner player, learning how to add off coverage to his game.
And he's got room. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Here we go.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, praise has to go to the guys in the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Now it's the Princeton man. This is Spencer Ware. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Throwing on third down, Smith.
The defense won that play.
Trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Finding time. He sets to fire deep. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 52 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They'll start the drive with Jamal Charles. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Here's Smith. Harris has it over the middle. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drives exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Peterson alone in the backfield. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and it's 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion.
Let's go.
Bridgewater off the play fake to McKinnon. And Rudolph has it left side. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. Bridgewater. And this is incomplete. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams in Arizona, those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all these places. From Mexico for the 2nd straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. They go play action here on 1st down. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
Brandon, another catch for Tyreek Hill. How do you defend him? Because kickoff return, punt return, catching the ball, whether it's a receiver out of the backfield, and, of course, you can run it with him, too.
Well, let me give you some numbers from last year. To your point, 12 total touchdowns, 6 of them receiving, 3 rushing, and 3 in the return game.
If you're an offensive coordinator and you can't diagram plays for this guy, turn in your clipboard. And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
Smith now to throw, and able to find Conley. The 13 yards that time at a 1st. Simple slant route, and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
Smith on 1st down. Conley's got it over the middle. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Chris Conley, 30 yards. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. short kick here, fielded about the 17. Are you kidding me? And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit from the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. So an entertaining first half, and now we have hit the 2-minute warning. Bridgewater now on 2nd down. Going for the deep ball. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off the drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
And that is incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's 4th down. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now a play fake here on rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Barr, the outside linebacker, drops him for a loss of 6. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Captain Mutterland. And they will set up shop, red zone territory at the 13-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Peterson alone in the backfield. Throwing, Bridgewater. Escaping the pressure right. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Teddy Bridgewater on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Forbat to send it away now following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Second down now after the incompletion. They come up in an offset eye. On 2nd and 10, Smith. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. To throw is Smith. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's what...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Andrew Sandejo. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And now out comes Minnesota. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third.
Let's go.
Third and short yardage, Bridgewater. And he's able to find Diggs. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Allen Bailey. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. The second down throw for Bridgewater. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him. They tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine, you know, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction. And then you have the OTAs and minicamps. You get to see them on the field for the first time. And we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
Back to throw, Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. They are going for it. It's Smith. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And it is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. They come up in an offset eye. Bridgewater to throw it. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. It goes as a pickup of 23. And it'll be a Minnesota first down. So they're operating in the red zone. First down, here's the run with Peterson. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. 2nd down, Bridgewater. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Here's Bridgewater. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up 4th down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him up.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And now here comes Kansas City. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. On 2nd down, Jamal Charles. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
On 2nd and 10, Smith airing one out for Macklin deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And that will be incomplete as well. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. And now it's 4th down.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
And Conley's got it over the middle. 11 yards on the pickup, and on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come up in an offset eye. A 1st down carry here for Charles. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Brian Robinson in on the tackle. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Tyreek Hill on the return. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They go play action here on 1st down. To the right side, it's Kelce. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And now here's another interception. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory. but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. They run again with Peterson. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
10 yards to go on third. On third down, Bridgewater surveying the field. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. Here's Jeff Locke now, as he'll punt it away for the second time.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
On first down, it's Smith. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Sharif Floyd with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Watch left, watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left. Over.
To throw on second down is Smith. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. A shotgun snap for Smith. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Desperation time for Smith on fourth down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emerson Griffin in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Bridgewater here to throw. He's got time in the pocket, and he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. we're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
He was looking for his fullback there, Zach Line, and now it's second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. A second down throw for Bridgewater. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Red Allison, the intended receiver. Third down here. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
Give them a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Bridgewater to throw for it on fourth. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Another pistol look here. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. They come up in an offset eye. 2nd and 10, Smith again. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Emerson Griffin in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on third. Now Smith. They complete it to Hill. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column.
I wanna sip, don't